Hello everyone and welcome back to another Diecast review. This time we're taking a look at Erik Jones's 2021 Bristol Dirt Race Tide Ride / Food City from, again, the 2021 Bristol Dirt Race. A good looking race car, of course, last year Richard Petty Motorsports, now GMS Petty Racing, or Petty GMS Racing, or Motorsports, or honestly, names are hard, but nonetheless, a 43 diecast driven by Erik Jones in the 2021 season. A good-looking race car, of course, you can get your very own at CircleBDiecast.com and use our code JTN at checkout for free shipping on your order of $20 or more, which this car is. So bada bing, bada boom, save yourself $10 on shipping through the use of the code JTN at checkout. A good-looking car. As I said, to open this, you got your Petty Blue, your Tide Orange, a little bit of yellow, white. Good mix of colors. We'll go over it more in depth here in a moment, but to give you a quick overview, which I think is always a good way to start one of these little diecast reviews. I guess this is a big diecast review, but nonetheless. So take you over some of the deficiencies, little mistakes that might happen on the car. Talk about how that maybe occurs in the manufacturing process. But overall, a good-looking car. Turned out really well. There's a couple neat little things about this one, too, with it being a dirt race car, which we'll get into, including, no side window. Stick my finger in there. Whoop! But before we get into that, we always like to look at the boxes, because we're weird. Oh, you saw my living room. So there, of course, is the box. You got your, traditional now. What has become the standard with the viewing window. Erik Jones, picture of the car with the render. Standard finish, official diecast. This side, of course, all your different stuff. Erik Jones, 43, Richard Petty Motorsports, I mean, by now you kind of know how this part of the review goes. And then up top, of course, the picture of Jones, name, logo, car number, team logo. Pretty standard. The bottom with, of course, the different licenses, including the GM license, to officially verify that this is a General Motors licensed product. Wow. All right. Get the boring part out of the way. Let's go ahead and take a look at this car. So, starting on the front, of course, got your good-looking Chevy nose, a little bit flatter than in years previous, of course. Chevrolet made that change going into the 2020 season. So the nose a little more rounded. It's a little hard to tell here. You got your 43, your Richard Petty Motorsports logo. Of course, this car has more ground clearance than the actual thing would have. On the hood, you have your big Tide logo that overlaps from the hood onto the front bumper, which the decal application there is pretty solid, if I do say so. Jones and the Chevrolet logos on the windshield banner. On the roof, it's where you get your splash of Petty Blue with the 43 and the Check It for Andretti hashtag logo. On the back, of course, Jones. Nothing on the deck lid. And then this car that I have was number 90 of, forgot to read it off, 624. So this is number 90 of 624. On the left side of the car, you, of course, have the Erik Jones name, the American flag. Jones usually uses a Michigan State flag, so American flag on this one. Mac Tools, STP, and Columbia Outfitters on the B-post. Your NASCAR race car logo, Cup Series logo, and the STP 50 Years logo right here. 43, U.S. Air Force, Food City, Transportation Impact, and another Tide logo. Of course, this was the Food City Dirt Race, so Food City getting some sponsorship on the side of the Erik Jones vehicle. A cloth window net. Of course, a few years ago now, they've kind of gone away from having the trunks open. You can see no hinges here, so the trunks don't open. On the ARC series, the ARC Gold series, or I honestly, they changed the names around so much, but on the ARC series 124s, the trunks, obviously, they don't open anymore. This one, too, just another note, it does have the smaller spoiler, or at least I do believe this is the smaller spoiler, which would be accurate for the Bristol Dirt Race last year where they ran the smaller spoiler. On the back, it's kind of the same as the front. Again, more of your Petty Blue splash here. I didn't talk about it too much, but Petty Blue here and up and around. You got your yellow with a little bit of a shadow there with the white, kind of giving you a good layering effect. The same with the yellow on the orange. But Petty Blue on the back, Food City, your black bow tie, because it's a Chevy Performance product. ZL1, LE, 43 there. And then, of course, the passenger side is pretty much the same as the driver's side. So, good looking there. I also forgot there's a Safety Clean logo right there. Bam. Bada bing, bada boom. But good looking paint scheme, right? You got this little bit of blue that comes up. Jones, I believe, piloted this car to a top 10 finish. So, a good result for that Jones boy. In the dirt race last year. Of course, Erik's coming off a great finish in Fontana this past weekend. Now to a couple things that I noticed that might, at least on my car, that gotta be honest, right? There's gonna be chips and stuff, and that's what we've kind of come to expect. We'll leave that conversation about price and quality where it has, but you can see right here there's a couple chips where the shark fin insert is. That's not too disappointing. I did have some black marks on the side of the car that I did get rid of, so I don't know if it was from a pen or what. But here on the number, but they are gone now. So I have a feeling this might have been one that got tested more for quality, or at least was in the quality, was at least inspected. You got your Petty Blue that comes up here, a little bit of a halftone gradient shape pattern here that kind of goes over the Petty swoosh. Of course, Lionel hasn't done the best with the gradients on cars. You can look at the RP Funding car or the Armor All car that Jones drove last year. I think those are probably pretty good examples, especially the 164s, of their struggles with the gradients. We talked about that with the Armor All car right here. You can check that video out right here on JTN2. But overall, good-looking car. The one big thing that is a really nice touch as we flip it over, hopefully you can see the pattern in it. We'll see if the camera... you can kind of stare. There we go. There it is. It does have dirt tires, so they have the tread on them. So a nice little touch there that is well appreciated, since this car, of course, only ran during the Bristol Dirt Race. Other cars that have this, of course, will be the Joey Logano race version, the Chase Elliott race version, and then any other cars that were specific to the Bristol Dirt Race. I don't recall, outside of those two that I just named, ones that are specific to that Bristol Dirt Race. Those cars, too, of course, have the dirt and grime and stuff that built up on the cars. This is just a standard, like Erik's fire suit before the race was nice and pristine and white. This is the same thing, nice and pristine race car with none of the dirt on it. But nonetheless, folks, a really good looking car. One last thing, let's see if I can't get this hood opened. Something that I have come to learn is a pencil with an eraser. A great tool to kind of get your hood open. I don't think I got it. So that is unfortunate. Give me one more sec. Take one more stab at it. Nope. All right. Well, we're going to use the lead side of the pencil, folks. There we go. But always a pain in the butt to get these hoods open because they have them fitting so tight. But you can see you got your Chevrolet logo, your Wix Filters logo. The hoods don't open up. I don't want to open it much more than this because I'm not going to display it with the hood open. But again, I know there's a lot of folks that care about that type of stuff. That's not necessarily in my playbook. But yeah, a good-looking diecast car nonetheless. So like I said, Erik drove this car in the Bristol Dirt Race last year. That's why it's got the dirt tires. It's a good-looking race car. This was my favorite paint scheme that he drove last year, at least up and through the spring. I'm trying to think if another one came in. I, of course, really like the Air Force car that I think they ran in the that they were supposed to run. I love that Air Force Warthog with the shark's teeth and stuff. Just never found that car. I don't think Erik drove that car because I believe he drove the Red Tails Air Force car for Talladega. and then probably drove it the other Air Force races or some other different variations of the Air Force car. But this Tide car was probably my favorite. That's why I ended up ordering it. I don't do a lot of 124 ordering just because, they're more expensive. They take up more space. And honestly, I don't have the space right now being in college to collect a lot of these cars. So when I get one, it's because I really like it. I'm proud to say that I really like this car, and I'm really glad that I got it. Hoping for Erik Jones race win car this year in 2022. I'm sure a lot of other guys that are rooting for the 43 team are as well. With all that being said, though, if you're an Erik Jones fan, I think this is a car you got to get. Again, it's unique, right? It's a one-off paint scheme. It has the dirt tires, which I think make it at least a little more valuable in that sense. That's got a little neat thing behind it. It's a top 10 finish, which, again, when you're rooting for a team that maybe doesn't have as much funding, those top 10 finishes mean a little bit more. Maybe a driver getting their first career top 10, what have you. That stuff means a little bit more. So always good to see that. But with all that being said, folks, cannot thank you enough for watching this. Make sure if you haven't already, you hit the like button on the video and subscribe. It does so much to help support us here on JTN2. You can follow us at Johto Network on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. And you're going to, if you want to pick up your very own Erik Jones Tide 124 or any Erik Jones 124, you want to head over to CircleBDiecast.com. Use code JTN at checkout, and you'll receive that free shipping on your order of $20 or more. With all that being said, though, folks, cannot thank you enough, as always, for watching, and we'll see you guys next time live. Or, not live. This isn't live. This is recorded. We'll see you guys next time right here on JTN2. So long for now, folks.